Congratulations. This is Hernan Rodriguez, National Executive Director with Experior Financial Group from Vancouver, Canada. And I am here as well with Michael Araneta and Senior Executive Director Annie Curie and Michael's team. So today we are going to be talking about the power and the reasons why building a team. Before I start with that, I want to also remind you that even though building teams is very, very recommended, and it is very powerful to build a legacy for you and your family, it's not a requirement with Experior Financial Group. At Experior Financial Group, you can achieve the highest levels of compensation on your own pen, on your own production, without needing to build a team. And of course, building a team is going to bring you a lot of benefits, but there is also responsibilities by building a team. So we need to know what we're doing and why we are doing it. The most important reason is the why. You know, why are we doing this business? And everyone has their own reasons. Obviously, we are here to protect families because we have a license that is to protect families. The byproduct of doing a really good business, protecting families and businesses, is that we also are going to benefit financially through it because it is a business. And that's why, you know, we are doing it as a business. Sometimes people say, I just do it to help families, which is great, but we could also inform families, not really protect them without a license, but we could be informing them even without a license, and they could be going somewhere else. So we got to remember this is a business, and to stay in business, we need to make money, okay? Otherwise, it's not a business that is profitable, and a business that is not profitable is not a good business. So saying that, I'm going to let you know that I appreciate you all. You see right here, it says 1,800. It's a little closer to 1,900 licensed agents. So we thank you for your preference, and I thank you especially in the name of my family, because this has created for us what I want you to, you know, I wouldn't use motivation, but to inspire you, because no one can motivate you. When they say, oh, this person motivates me, I believe that's a mistake. I've been studying this for years. Someone else can inspire you for sure. But real motivation comes within. Real motivation comes within. And what I want to inspire you with is we've been building this business for a little over 5 years from scratch, from 0 agents. The very first agent of mine and of my wife is Executive Director Annie Curie, which is right here. And, you know, sometimes I give her respectfully nicknames like Genesis or Alpha, because she was the very first person who trusted on us, okay? And now we're at 1,800 agents. But what does this mean for security? Where can you see yourself, okay? Oh, is someone waiting in the room? Let me just make, I'm gonna make Annie a co-host. So there you go, she can help us bring someone. Okay, so let's go to the facts of what this means. The way that we've been building this business, we share codes, okay? So together, these 1,800 agents are giving us over $800,000 US of passive income every, you know, in the last 365 days. And it keeps on growing, okay? So $800,000, a little over $800,000 in passive income is closer to $900,000. So it's very good, of course, whether you are in Canada or whether you're in the USA. But that means that even without writing business on your own pen, you're going to be able to always have income coming through. And that is why, because you're building a distribution system on many layers, a distribution system, so that every time someone protects a family anywhere, whether it's in Puerto Rico, whether it's in Alaska, Hawaii, Toronto, Nevada, you will get a piece of the action. So what you are doing when you are in this business, you are building a distribution system of financial services. And so that's what I can tell you why you should do it on the passive income that comes to you. But what is very important is that you can also, you see this certificate here, and it's not just a certificate. You get a document that is legal, obviously, that you can bring to your lawyer. This is the Platinum Plus Legacy Ownership. Also, Executive Director Annie got it this year in 2026. And I'm going to let her explain more about the different levels, but I'm going to speak to you from the point of view of the highest level of legacy that you can achieve, because they say shoot for the stars and you will at least hit the moon. Okay, shoot for the stars and you can at least hit the moon. But I know each and every single one of you can hit the star for sure. Okay, this means that out of the, let's say, almost $900,000, okay, if anything happens to me, whether, and I knock on wood, right, and I wish the best to all of you, whether you become or I become disabled in this case, it activates immediately and forever, okay? Not only I will receive 75% while I'm alive, it's like a living benefit, let's call it, on a life insurance policy, okay? 75% of everything that was coming through while I was active. Now, the moment that I pass away, whether I became disabled first or I immediately just, have an accident, hopefully not, right? At that moment, my beneficiaries will also receive 75% forever. And when I say forever, it's intergenerationally. So I can leave it to my wife, and then she can inherit it to our children, whether or not they decide to get in this industry. Again, whether or not they decide to get in this industry. And at this point, I don't see any of my 4 children getting in this industry because they have their own dreams and aspirations. Maybe one day one of them will get licensed, but at this point, it's not the case. And they can also inherit it to their own children. So one thing that I want to let everyone know, especially if someone sees clips of this on social media, is that if you cannot inherit a benefit, okay, generation after generation, then it means that it was never true ownership. Otherwise it's just like a pension plan or a spousal pension plan where your spouse will receive part of what you were making, but at that moment ends, or maximum it might go to some of your children, but after that it disappears. This is true ownership, and that's what I want to let you know. So another very important fact before I pass the microphones over to Executive Director Annie is that there is over 1 million or approximately 1 million licensed insurance agents in the USA and approximately 100,000 in Canada. Okay, 1 million in the USA. I know that most of you, if not all of you, are in the USA. And the way that we've been able to reach this number, okay, and we've been able to recruit most of our, all our direct agents, it's been online, is because we share the opportunity constantly with licensed insurance agents. Now, there is nothing wrong by recruiting people without a license, because none of us were born with a license, right, Carl? Right, Aret? So someone had to give us the opportunity, and that's good. We should continue receiving new people to the industry. But please, I will give you this tip. If you want to collapse time frames, Eddie, share it with other licensed agents. Because at that point, like when Michael, I believe Michael reached to me through LinkedIn, because I'm always putting, content in LinkedIn, okay? And so there is a moment that people will start reaching you. Obviously, you can also do the cold outreach directly and see and show the opportunity to them, ask them if they're open to opportunities, and I can give you a deeper class on how I do it another time. But some people will say no, but some people will say yes, okay? And you just need a few people that are really looking, okay, who have an open mind, and before you know it, the snowball effect is gonna start happening, and it's gonna start compounding. So before we had this call, Michael shared with me that most of you, if not all of you, are right now focused in your own production, which is great, okay, which is great. But I gotta tell you, there is no security in relying only in our own production. I used to be in other industries over the years, always related to sales or consulting, okay? And I made quite a bit of money. It was always very good for me, but I had ups and downs through my life. I never been an employee other than for 2 weeks when I was a teenager at an ice cream shop that belonged to one of my friend's parents in Mexico. And I was thinking, oh, in Mexico it's so hot. I'm from Mexico originally, but the weather is so warm that I was thinking, oh, maybe I can make money selling ice cream. Okay, but it wasn't my ice cream store. I was an employee. And after, 2 weeks, oh, and I also worked for my father at a wooden toy factory. He had a toy factory for wooden toys, okay? But aside from working as an employee for my father as a teenager and an ice cream parlor, after that, I personally took the sales job all my life. And I became very good at sales and sales training. But there is a problem with that, Eddie. If you don't have a team with duplication, even if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, anything happens to you or the company that you're consulting for or your best clients, something happens to them, your income stop. And in my life, I had so many peaks and so many valleys, okay? I had to reinvent myself. I am right now 52 years old, and I came back to the insurance industry after living it for 17 years, okay? Because I understood insurance is an industry that will always be there. Since it is already regulated, there is not going to be something that suddenly this changes, so many industries are going to change. Insurance is being here for centuries, and it will be here forever, okay? So I said, you need something that is stable, but now how can we scale it? How can we scale it? And that is when, I was checking, Eddie is agreeing with me, I guess, over there. And I go like, how can we scale this? Because I knew about the team builder systems, in my early 20s, before I left the industry, I was with 2 builder systems. The only problem with most builder systems is that they pay very little to the agents, and agents are not the owners of the book of business. So when I reached to Jamie Prickett, who was then the CEO of Experior, is the co-CEO right now of AOG and co-founder of Experior, he explained to me the benefits that we have at Experior, okay? And when he told me you can build huge teams like in the other companies, but you are going to be able to pay your agents much better, and you're going to own the book of business, I said, sign me up. Why? Because as long as I can pay agents better than most, if not all the other builder systems, now suddenly, Eddie, that million agents out there in the USA, 500,000 of them at least are underpaid and do not own their book of business already. So to me, if you just focus on that and you understand the law, okay, of probability, okay, even if 9 agents tell me no, and 1 agent tells me yes, I am open to listen to the opportunity to watch it, I said, this is game over. It's not a matter of if we are going to build a huge distribution system. It's just a matter of when. and you can control it. The more people, okay, and that's why we're collapsing timeframes to build so big. The more actions you put into it, you're gonna start getting to more yeses. It's like everything in sales, okay? Recruiting is selling as well, but you're not selling the product, you're selling the opportunity. So recruiting is sales. You're selling the opportunity, you're selling the dream, and I'm gonna soon pass the microphones over. I know I'm famous for my monologues, and hopefully I'm not boring you here. But one of the things that I have to say is rely on your uplines, okay? But it's not only Michael. I know that you guys also have a great couple of leaders, Vladimir and Jessica, but you can also reach to Annie and to me, okay? So if you ever are going to recruit, I'm gonna let you know where I can be your secret weapon. And of course, Annie's super good at this too, and Michael. But if you ever wanna book me with a licensed agent, I specialize on licensed agents, okay? For non-licensed agents, what I recommend is you bring them to a group VTO presentation or send them a video first and then bring them to a live VTO. That's the way to do it. But if you have a licensed agent, who's showing some interest, you can go ahead, let Michael know, and he can book me to enter with you. I love to do that. That's what I get excited when I'm talking to licensed agents that I can, recruit under you, because once we lock them under you, that's it, for life. If those licensed agents are coachable, are hungry, and also are active, it becomes the best business that I have ever seen in my life. And I'm gonna tell you a secret, okay? And this is not to be pompous or anything like that, but because I used to make a lot of money before just on my personal sales in other industries. When we reach the $100,000 ring, which is the black one. Sometimes I don't see colors that well. I'm kind of colorblind, but that's the black one right here, okay? I like it because I always wanted to have a ring from when I was young in the other companies, and I never built a team or reached the 100,000. I was in my 20s, but I made a lot more money as a sales consultant myself. So I was happy with the ring, but I wasn't extremely excited yet. For some people, obviously, it's gonna change their lives. But to me, and I'm just being honest, I was okay, it's 100,000, but I'm putting quite a bit of effort. You can't even do it on your own paying, by the way, okay? But we took the long way. Then, when the $250,000 came over, the blue one, I started getting more excited, but still to me, I was like, I can still make it on my own, and I made it on my own many times. The only difference is that this doesn't depend on me only, which is security. And now, my wife and I, about a month and a half, we crossed into the $500,000 US. We live in Canada, so $500,000 US is almost 700,000 Canadian. We need it because Canada, they tax you a lot and it's very expensive over here. So thank you for your preference. But I'm sharing this with you because there is a moment that now I'm so excited, but not for me. I'm excited for me, but I'm so excited for all of you, because now it's really exciting me. Now I go like, oh man, $500,000 in autopilot is beautiful. What is the next step? And because there is something that happens, okay, and I'm sure that Annie has taught this class and she can send you the videos and explain it to you. When you get to National Executive Director, there are so many bonuses that suddenly open up all the way to your 7 levels generations. This is where I am so excited, okay? Call me anytime I want to help you build big, okay? Because I am not Mother Teresa, Brandy, okay? I'm a nice guy, but I'm not Mother Teresa. The more that I help you, the more I'll make, okay? Especially on those bonuses. Because we got 2 months ago, Eddie's laughing, but it's a reality. I like to tell it how it is, Eddie. Otherwise, people sometimes, start saying that they are so awesome and so nice. I'm a little bit selfish that way. I build a business to help everyone, okay? But especially, I love to help you because I'm helping myself, man, okay? I'm telling you, business talk, okay, straight up. But we always have to keep in mind the client, number one, And second, our agents, okay? That's the beauty about this business. You make money and you can fall asleep so good. Sometimes I go like, is it normal that I go to sleep so good? Because, this money is coming in like it wasn't, legit money. It's so good coming in. But anyway, the bonuses, Michael. 2 months ago, and Darren Golka, our upline, he's an incredible leader. He told me, Hernan, you got to unlock the bonuses. You got to unlock the bonuses. You're missing out like in $20,000 a month or something. And I was thinking, I don't know. It sounds good, but until you don't have it in your bank account, you don't know if it's that real. It's still a fantasy. It's a theory until you don't have it. You see others making it. Suddenly, boom, 20 grand at the end of the month for the month before. And then I was thinking, I was almost praying, hopefully this next month I get it. Boom, I got another one, okay? And now, Michael, the overrides are to a level, and again, I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm trying to inspire you, okay? Last week, without bonus, right after the $20,000 bonus, we got, my wife and I, our best paycheck week ever. 30,000 US dollars, all passive income, okay? So I'm letting you know, starts to snowball so fast that I was even asking Darren Golkan, I go like, hey, Darren, you went so fast from $500,000 to $1 million. And he says, yeah, because the bonuses start happening. So now we are seeing this. We already ordered the red ring, but it takes so long because, it's the company, I don't know, I think it's the same company who makes the Super Bowl rings or whatever, okay? These guys make rings for so many people. They got to hire more people because it takes 3 to 4 months to get a ring, okay? So now we know that before we have the $500,000 ring in our hand, we already are going to have hit the $750,000 ring. And then the 1 million comes like snowball. So that's what I wanted to let you know, okay? No matter where you are, when I started in this industry, I started when I was maybe 22 or something like that, okay? Started with no knowledge of the industry. And, I already knew how to sell because I used to sell door to door in Canada. When I came here as an immigrant, I was making $7 every time someone bought a coupon from me door to door. Okay, Eddie? $7, because sometimes people see me or see some of the people earning a lot of money now, and they might think, this guy started with everything. No, I arrived to Canada as an immigrant with $100 in my pocket. And I learned how to make sales by knocking on doors, to strangers' doors. I'm glad I was doing it in Canada, not in Texas, because people would have come without gun to the door, We only had someone pull a gun, I believe, on my brother here in Canada, but there's not so many guns here. But and then we were chased by dogs, all kinds of things, okay? But we were learning sales the old style way. And from there, I went to telemarketing. But now, everything that we have learned, we can share with you, okay? I have a long time in sales, from like knocking on doors to now I can maybe help you if you want to, how to do digital attraction, calls to actions. And remember, one thing that is so good that you must remember, because in the past, even though I studied artificial intelligence in 2018, you can check my LinkedIn, okay? But right now, it's in such a level that your best consultant is either Gemini, ChatGPT, or Claude. I even asked them because I started dictating to it myself. I want to create this, or I'm going to put this ad, or I'm going to do this video, okay? This is my idea, but please optimize it so that I sound professional, friendly, make sure that I have a call to action. My goal is for, you got to divide your messages. You're either going to recruit or you're going to attract potential clients. You cannot do both, okay? So whether you are thinking of yourself or you're getting artificial intelligence to help you, give it the end goal, okay? And now whatever they give me, I go like, oh man, this is incredible because it's so good. is so good. It's more intelligent than us, obviously, but we gotta guide it. Okay. So what I'm going at is information is not that valuable any longer because it's out there everywhere more than before. What is valuable is how you implement it. What is valuable is how you implement it and how you package it for distribution. Okay. So that's all I had to say for now because I spoke for so long. And I'll pass the microphones now to Executive Director Annie, or before she goes, if you want to ask me any questions, I'm open to questions, and then we'll pass the microphones to her. Thank you so much, and I hope that I brought you some value. And again, I'm trying to inspire you only. That's all. I cannot motivate you. Motivation is within. Okay, for me, it's giving a better life to my wife. She worked so hard while we were living, we were building this business, and she still works so hard. Help my parents. They're aging rapidly, and of course, leave a legacy for my children. And in the meanwhile, I like to live in good comfort, Eddie. That's what I like to live in. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead, Michael.
So question, it's Experior has a unique like promotion track because unlike other IMOs, obviously here we're not required to recruit to reach the top level, right? 100, 115, 130%, right? What makes it easier for us? What's with Experior that makes it easier for us not just to attract, but to be able to, as you mentioned earlier, retain these agents, not just agents, but even big teams, right? From from my other, practice company. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question. And so, of course, I'm going to put this analogy, okay? I never been in the army, but I like kind of like stories from the people who've been in the army and from the big armies. So when you are paying your agents, let's imagine they are your army, okay? When you pay your agents better or your army is well fed, okay? They're stronger, they're more committed, okay? So they're not gonna become mercenaries for the other teams because they are loyal to you. That's how it is. At the end of the day, people have to feed their families, okay? So the retention and the attraction come together because when you in the USA can start agents at 70%, and the other companies that build teams, I'm referring to team builders, okay? The other team builder companies start you at 25 or 35, people are going to be able to go full time faster when they are earning more money, because I always ask them or the leaders, why are you paying your agents half what we are paying them? Who's going to be not just more loyal, but who's not going to go through a divorce because of this? Because the reality of the matter, most marriages or even relationships are broken because of financial stress. So the other companies, okay, and there are some that are public companies, and this is, well known out there. So we are not bashing any company. We're just mentioning the reality and the facts, okay? It's a publicly traded company. So if you go into their quarterly reports, it's going to let you know the number of licensed agents they have, the sales numbers, how many people left, all the whole 9 yards, okay? And I haven't checked in a while, but the last time that I checked, they had retention on their agents was about 70% year after year. That means they lose 30% year after year. Experior, by the numbers of Canada, I haven't checked the numbers lately with the US, but I'm sure it's still very good. 12 years in Canada, our retention has been 97% year after year. So those are numbers that are proven with facts. And why, Michael? Because when you pay more, you're able to obviously attract those licensed agents with experience, because someone with experience normally is not going to go from 70 or from 100 to start down at 25 or 35. You understand what I mean? some people in the past maybe would have done it. Like I will let you know, when COVID hit in Canada, up in Canada, we get paid differently. But I was almost willing to come down 70% on my own pen just to build teams because I didn't know Experior existed. And I was thinking, you know what, Eddie? I don't want to just be writing business on my own. And COVID was devastating in Canada. Over here, they really lock us up, not like in some of the states in the US where you could still roam around and everything. Here was complete lockdown. So I said, I'm willing because my pen, I just came back to the insurance industry.
And carriers at the time all required wet signatures,
yeah,
which made it more complicated.
Yeah. They started migrating, but yeah, it was most of them. And then I said, you know what, I need teams. So at that point, I really was willing to come down on my own production drastically. But the moment that I learned about Experior, I said, there is no need to come drastically. So I'm just letting you know why you can attract licensed agents, because we can pay more, and that will give you more retention. Because the reality of the matter is that people now, in the past, there was no options, but also there was no social media like 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, it wasn't out there. Now everything is out there, and now with AI even more. People will do a search and they will be going, hey, why, if I'm putting the same effort, I'm taking only half of what they can offer me at Experior? And the other thing, because I don't call the other IMOs that build teams the competition, because we don't have a competition. They are the opposition. Okay, that's what they are. But the opposition tends to make up stories, and they said, oh, but you're not going to be able to build teams. And that's not true. We are the example of that. Okay, you can build teams. You can build them as big as those other companies who build huge teams, but you are going to be able to make more money on your own pen and your agents, and that will give you the retention. That's the true answer, Michael. There is no other answer. And when people also own their book of business, that's it. So we don't have to complicate it so much when we are explaining to agents. We do the whole presentation, but sometimes I go like, you have a license? Yes. I find out, are you with a builder system or not? If they tell me they're with a builder system already, and I ask them the rank, of course, but as long as they're with a builder system and they understand generations, I go like, hey, we have 7 generations. It means you can go deep, unlimited wide. The difference here, key difference, is you and your agents are going to make more money on your own sales. That will give you more retention. Without retention, you don't have long-term overrides, and you own your book of business, which is very important, because if for any reason, okay, most people come and stay, but if for any reason you come here and you write a piece of business, Carl, Arid, Eddie, Brandy, and you later say, you know what, Experior was not for me, as long as you don't owe money to the company in chargebacks, you can transfer your book to another IMO, so there is no risk for agents to sign up with us. And also, there is no hold on your contract. I don't know if you understand what is that, but with most IMOs, 90% of them, I would say, in the US, they will say, you know what, 6 months to 2 years, depending into what you wrote with them. There are some of those opposition companies, builder systems out there, that are so scared that their agents are learning the benefits of other companies like us and a few others that are copying Experior on their benefits, that have sent, last year there was one that I know, it's a 3-letter company, and they sent a letter to people and they were like, oh, you need to sign this. And most people sign on good faith, and they lock them in for 2 years that they cannot go and write with their preferred carrier if they change IMOs. So with Experior, everyone, when you sign the AOA, electronic agency ownership agreement, okay, everyone is pre-release as long as you don't owe money to the company. You shouldn't owe money, obviously. Otherwise, just pay your debt, boom, and you just are released. So that's why when you're also recruiting, and I'm going to give you a tip of how I do it, and this exactly is how it went with Michael, I believe. Because when he reached to me, he was still like, I don't know, Hernan, this sounds too good to be true. And I was like, I understand it, Michael, put me to the test. You don't have to believe me, check it out and everything. But I said, hey, Michael, I'm going to do something for you. This is the $1 million tip, okay, guys? And I always tell everyone, Ari, when you are recruiting someone, I go I'm going to give you, okay, a VIP backstage pass to check this out, okay? 30 days, no cost. Just make sure that you set up properly the date they're going to charge you. I believe you can still choose the date, right? So let's say that we were talking with someone today. So you send them your link, either your static link that Michael can show you how to do, or you can send it by email to them, okay? Or you can do both. Because when you send it by email, you're protecting that prospect recruit and no one else can send them a link to their email. I believe it's for 30 days, maybe a little longer, okay? If I was presenting with Eddie, and I know that I have somehow his interest, I go Eddie, I don't want you to make a decision, that is not the best decision, okay? So the best way for you to decide is by checking everything out. We're an open book, boom, and I send you the OA. I go, just make sure that you enter in your telephone an alarm, maybe put 28 days from now, in case you don't want to be charged, okay? You let me know, and then I send you a link, and then no obligation. But what you are doing is you're registering them directly with you, okay? Now they have access, obviously limited access to the back office if they don't have their licenses transferred yet. But you can invite them also to our Telegram groups at that point to see how we train and everything. And they're going to fall in love with everything because it's basically check us out for 30 days without having to get paid. So again, if you sign someone up today, Brandy, what I would tell them is don't choose the 12 as your day of contribution for the technology, because in 24 hours, they're going to get charged. But if they're signing up today, which is the 11, you tell them put the 10. So you're buying them, 29 days or so, depending on how many days are in that month. And so now they're checking it out. I also let them know they're going to ask you for your credit card, of course, but you're not getting charged. Just do it this way. And suddenly, boom, they're in. And because we really are telling them the truth and we're going to go, explain whatever they need and so forth, now you have a lot more opportunities for them to really get to learn from Experior, all our advantages, as well as the Icebreakers team, Financico, and the whole 9 yards, and you have them. That's how you recruit. And that's how I gave Michael the keys of his favorite car, because I told him, hey, Michael, if you could drive any car you wanted and I can give you the keys, which one it is, and of course I went here are the keys of the man, boom, you can go and race it, do whatever you want. Just make sure that you give them back to me 30 days, or you own it. That's it. Awesome. Anything else, guys? Or we let Executive Director Annie just share some other stuff, and I have my Bluetooth here. I'm just gonna grab a little water unless you have a question for me.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep you from your water, but I do have a question.
All good.
I was wondering, you said you focused on, or when you started, you focused on door knocking, and right now you're doing more digital attraction. I was wondering if you have any trainings in regard to digital attraction or tips, because I just started that. I uploaded my first video on Thursday to try to start marketing myself and putting myself out there.
That's so nice.
And I want to know, thank you. And I want to know what tips you have to.
I'm going to give you a few tips for sure. That's a great question, Ares. The first thing is, what is the intent of your video? Is this a video to inform people of what you're doing on your services, or is that to attract agents or clients? This video was with which intent?
The video was the videos that I'm starting are more educational to be able to attract and allow people to know what life insurance is
Okay,
and
good.
the benefits of having it.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I like that, because we have to divide our videos, right? And of course, if you don't want to recruit, that's fine. But if right now you are doing financial education videos, what I would do is I would focus on having 5 to 10 financial education videos of different topics, right? Because maybe the first one that you created was the benefits of life insurance and explaining life insurance in general. Then I would go into more details, like living benefits, or the benefits of IUL in certain cases, or why term insurance, for like mortgage protection, so that people get to see that you have a collection of videos in one topic, because that will create social proof that you know what you're talking about. So my first tip is don't stop at one video. The more videos, the better, okay? But of course, to start, you can do 5 to 10, okay? And the sooner you create them, the better. But then there are a few things within the video, because I haven't seen your video, but you can also, when you have your video right now going, you can even upload it to any of the artificial intelligence platforms, and it will, in a few seconds, go through your script and what you're saying, and you can tell it, can you optimize it for conversions? My goal is to attract more
Okay.
people, to reach to me as a life insurance professional, okay? And tell it, optimize it for conversions. That's the key, because there is a few things that it's gonna do for sure. Because I haven't seen your video, but I see that this happens a lot with people, that they are just telling and not selling. You're selling yourself at the end and why they should come to you, okay? There's a big difference between telling and selling. So you just don't want to be the guy that is just giving the free tip. Yes, of course, you're free tip because you're not charging for your video, but there is the call to action, contact me. I specialize on like helping families. If you talk about another one that is more for like high income earners that are doctors or whatever, you might be going to like, I specialize in helping, high income earners in the medical profession. Like, you can have different varieties of your videos, okay? But the call to action is very important. And what I do in my own, and Michael, can you share with everyone my virtual business card so they follow me online as well? I always put a call to action. And sometimes, when I'm making a short video, I say the call to action as well. Like, reach me, at the end of this video, you're going to see a QR code, or you're going to have a link where you can book me. But if you don't give people, easiness of reaching you, then you're going to miss out in a lot of the conversions. So you have to let them know there is a link above or below this video. And sometimes it sounds cheesy, but cheesy works. I'm telling you, okay? If the only thing that is standing between you and $100,000, Brandy, or you and $1 million, is that you bring your little finger up and down and you say there's a link above or below, trust me, that works like crazy, okay? But make sure you put a link in the description of your video to your Calendly so they can book with you, okay? And if you can invest the time in your videos, do you put captions in your videos, Aret?
Yes, I did.
Okay, nice. Because 40% of people watch videos in silence, when they are sleeping next to their partner, or when they're working or at school. They don't want their boss or teacher to hear they're watching videos and not putting attention. So texts are incredible. And I always put an outro. The outro is an image at the end of the video, right? Like when you're watching YouTube videos, you see they always have like an image or a video. And in that outro, most of the time, I put a QR code that is big and that it says scan now. Make sure that you leave that QR code for 5 to 10 seconds at the end, so that people have time to, oh, they told me scan now. They can pause it, or they can, even if they don't pause it, they have 5 to 9 minutes to ask their friend, hey, can you scan it for me? And so they will go to your Calendly or to your virtual business card. Most people don't do this. And because they don't do that, they don't get the conversions that we get, okay? And the other one that is so important, in which social media did you post it?
On Instagram, and I'm gonna be posting it on Facebook today as well.
That's nice. Do it, but do it in more, okay? I'm gonna share also one tool. Let me see where I have it here. One tool that I'm using right now for social media. I'm just going up here to find it. Give me a second. Because you can post in all social medias in one shot. Let me see if I can find that. If not, Michael, let me know. As I'm gonna be in Wi-Fi even in the airplane. But remind me, Michael, so I can find it. I'm gonna share it with you, and you can share it with everyone. I believe they have it on a lifetime deal as well. It's an incredible tool. I used to use one in the past that was called Sociamonials, but now this is even better. Okay, so you write you can write whatever you want on it, whether it's, or you can upload a video that you already created, but you're writing obviously a description on the video too, because you must have a description. And then immediately you can choose. I personally put them everywhere, okay? And there are even new social media channels that I don't even know exist, but they're coming up. This one will let you, in one click, upload your content to up to 30 social media channels. So the ones that I normally use, when I upload to Facebook, there is a little thing that toggles and it says just post in Instagram automatically anyway. So I never go to Instagram to post myself. Whatever goes in Facebook, posts in Instagram, okay? And if it's videos, TikTok is the king for other people to really get to know you that are not following you. So I repost the same video in Facebook, in TikTok, in LinkedIn, in YouTube, whether it's shorts or not. I reposted in all of them, because now you're going into what is called omnipresence, okay? And you want to be omnipresent. That's what you got to be doing for sure. So put them in all, because not everyone is in one. Maybe there's someone interested that is not in Instagram, but they maybe are in TikTok. You understand? So you have to multiply your results just by clicking and putting in one place, okay? And then I will also share, Michael, I have a new system now. I don't know if I send it to you or not, but hopefully they still have it in lifetime deal for outreach, automated outreach on LinkedIn. It's incredible. Complete automation. You don't have to do nothing other than to tell the agent your intent and what you do, just onto what we spoke. And you just go like start a campaign, and this thing replies even for yourself. And at the end, it guides people to book with you. So it's so good. And again, I believe if it's only going to be for your personal use, it's like $50 for life, Brandy, or something like that. You don't have to be paying monthly fees. And the other one for posting in all social media channels is also like $50 for life. So you don't have to be paying fees all the time. So that's the way that I like my software, because when we started, we started with not a lot of capital. I told you how we had a lot of up and downs, and also you don't want to waste money either, right? A lot of people charge a lot of money to handle your social media. You don't need anyone right now, just need yourself and a nice software, and that's it, and the camera on your telephone. Hopefully I answered your question, Sarah.
Yeah, you did. Thank you so much. It helped me a lot.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad. We are here to help. And so if there is anyone else, otherwise I'm going to leave you with Executive Director Annie, because I got to start packing to go to Toronto and then
And
to
we have
Montreal.
another meeting in 3 minutes.
Okay, go ahead. Anyone else? Brandy, Eddie, Carl, do you guys like it? Brandy, maybe you can unmute if you can, unless you can't, because if you're at work, then I don't want you to get in trouble. So then don't unmute.
No, I do. Well, Eddie's been very open and honest and straightforward with everything here.
Yeah.
I've been in insurance for a little over 10 years.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I've been independent pretty much the whole time. And I like the way that this goes. I like the whole setup, to be very honest with you. I've already recruited one person and I'm working on a couple more.
Congratulations. And I'm very glad, to see that Eddie and of course Michael and everyone here are sharing the opportunity with professionals like you. We appreciate every single one of you, but especially we appreciate the experience of someone like yourself. Thank you for choosing Experior and the Icebreakers team of champions. And another tip that I'm gonna give you, okay? When I record these meetings, that's a nice smile, thank you. When I record these meetings, and we always ask everyone if we can record them for training. This is $1 million tip as well, okay? Record your trainings, okay? Of course, get permission from the people in your trainings, because then you can repurpose them by creating them into shorts. And Michael, if you also let me know about that software that I use, it costs $13 a month, okay? But this long training that we are doing, I just upload it, and in a matter of 5 minutes, it's gonna be cut into like 60 little shorts with everything, with the captions and everything, and we're gonna put it out there. So now everyone know that you are very happy with Experior, and that automatically will help you attract more people, because they'll be like, oh man, someone with 10 years experience say that they are happy with Experior. So I'll send you that one. But if you follow me also on social media, you'll be able to repost them. And any of you who follow me, I can tag you as well on things, and so help you get more exposure. Thank you so much, Randy. And we know we will see you at the top of success.
I have to hop out. I have to hop
Yeah.
into another meeting. Thank you all for being here.
Thanks, Annie.
You can reach out to me anytime. I know you don't really know me, but know that I'm here and I'm
She's
more
so
than
powerful, so powerful. She also speaks 3 languages. She is so powerful. Almost 1,000 licensed agents right now, and over $300,000 US in passive income. It's amazing. Thank you, Annie. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Annie.
Eddie, before we end this, if you are able, I don't know if you're able to open your microphone, just give us a few words here, and then Carl will be cool.
Few words?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been in the business. I've been in insurance for this is like my 33rd year.
Wow. Congratulations, man. Thank you for your preference.
Yeah, I've done a lot of PNCs, which is my big book, really. A lot of commercial. And I've been wanting to get into the life side of it. And I've gone from one vehicle to the other, and I keep turning those vehicles in, getting a new vehicle. And so now I'm here with my brother from another mother, Michael.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How are you liking it so far?
I like it. I mean, I know what's out there. I know what the other companies offer and what they don't offer.
Yeah.
So one quick 15-minute phone call with Michael. I had a bunch of questions. Okay, well, do you guys do this? Do you guys do that? And so when he cleared everything up, it was a no-brainer for me. So I went all in.
Thank you.
And of course, there's a bunch of people pissed off at me at the other practice companies, but it's okay.
It's normal at the beginning. That's how the human reaction. But if they are open to a talk, I'll be back in 5 days from this tour to Toronto and Montreal to help agents over there. Feel free to book me with them, and then we can empower those agents. And we have similar stories that happen all the time. But if they open their mind and they turn around, now they'll actually thank you for sharing the opportunity. So, but we for
Yeah.
sure appreciate you, Eddie, and all of you. But again, we have here testimonials of two professionals, one with 10 years experience and another one with 33 years experience. So that's amazing. And I congratulate you, Michael, and all the team. Carl, if you are able, thank you for your words, Eddie. Carl, if you are able to unmute, maybe give us a couple words.
Oh yeah. Hi, I'm
Hi,
Carl.
Carl.
I'm with Mike from our previous practice company.
Yes.
And yeah, what I'm seeing with the Experior, it's really at the beginning, like at first when they're telling me about it, it's like, oh, that is not, that's not real. But when I when I spoke with Michael and backed up with some other leaders, and it's like it's mind blowing, and I'm excited to be part of the team.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your preference, Carl. We are here, to help you grow, and let's rock and roll. Let's go. Thank you as well for your testimonial. Tag me on social media. You all see yourself over there, and I'll help you promote yourselves. And that's what we should do with a team, help each other by tagging
Right.
each other and reposting. Reposting is very, very important, okay? I hope that I brought you some value today. Thank you for your words also, Carl and Michael. To close, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, Carl, Eddie was with me in Ard is a newly licensed agent. I'm really excited for the team. Just to share from the convention, it is, and this is the same message as when we had the weekly kickoff meeting with Team Infinity, right?
Yeah.
2026 is not the year to slow down. We really have to push because of our leaders, they want everyone to have shares, right?
Of course.
And Jerry, and I share this to the video to the team. I have to share that to Azzy and Annie as well.
Sure.
Jerry said he's begging us to really do everything we can to get the shares of AOG. Imagine not just executive directors, but even agents can have stock options for just $10,000 in income,
That's correct. That's amazing.
right? And most probably that will not be available 2027. It may still be available, but it may change because the value of AOG is keeps getting bigger and bigger because from what I heard, 50 more companies are about to, in the pipeline to join AOG. So that's amazing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. When I come back from the Toronto and Montreal tour, we can have another call that is specifically for the shares.
Yes.
But thank you, Michael. You're a great leader. Keep sharing the opportunity with, as many people, but especially licensed agents, I would say. Okay, because it's very valuable when they come here because they can also share from and teach through their experience. And I want to close by saying, Eddie, you have a gold mine with all those agents that you have there. So I'm sure you know how to reach your clients. But if you want to have, my input on that when I come back, I love to help. And that way,
Let's talk.
that way you can, help all those agents with those clients now with the products that we have through
Correct.
Experior as well. And that in return is going to bring you huge levels of success. Thank you, champions. Thank you for everything. Have a great day.
Take care,
I'll see you
Nan.
soon.
Bye.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you
you.
so much.